Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm stoked you're here. I want to give a quick shout out and major thank you to the channel members. Thank you, thank you. And I want to welcome and invite anybody who's coming through. Thank you for watching the content. If you like the content and you're so inclined, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. It would really help the channel out, and it also will notify you when I release new content, like this video. So I did a video last week on my 10 top USA made modern folders. And I went back and counted, and I actually only did 9, even though I had 3 honorable mentions. But hey, what are we going to do, right? So what I wanted to do is, that was such a small sampling of made in the USA knives that I truly do love, that I wanted to bring the attention to 10 more. So this is 10 more banging USA made knives from my collection. Starting out with number 10, it's the Benchmade Mini Adamas. This is an honorable mention on my original because it is such a fantastic knife. It is in CPM crew wear. It has, when I was doing the adjustment on it and a maintenance on it, the blade fell on my finger, cut through my fingernail. It's one of the sharpest knives I've got. Has some glassy action. I was able to procure these Applied Weapon Technologies Sniper Gray aluminum scales to replace the G10 scales that were on the Adamas. I wanted to get rid of the speed holes. You still got them in there in the frame for weight relief, but this knife might be just a little bit heavier now, but the aluminum is, again, light compared to some other metals, and I really love this knife. It's got a deep carry Benchmade clip on it. Really hard worker. It can outpunch its grade, and I would be doing a disservice if I didn't put this particular Benchmade and give it the accolades it deserves. And it's number 10 on 10 more super banging USA made knives. So moving on, we come to a newer knife in my collection that I am really enjoying, and this is the Emerson A100. The Emerson A100 Mini, to be actual. So it is the smaller version of the A100. I'm thinking about upgrading this thumb disc. I've had a couple of brothers in the community put me on a couple of sources to kind of mod out that thumb disc. But what I love about this knife, besides its size, besides the fact that it's very beefy and overbuilt for what it is I love the grind on this. You've got this Scandi on both sides. You've got this really nice swedge here on the top, and then you've got this stonewashed flat in the center. You've only got a beveled edge or a sharpened bevel on this one show side. Comes down to a 0 edge on the clip side. I think that's really cool. This knife cuts very well. We've not been doing any cut tests, so let's back up. The Mini A100 is a slicer. All you're seeing is cutter air trying to get through an iPhone. I assure you, it's very sharp. So let's try our Benchmade Adamas, see if I can cut any better with it. Keep in mind, guys, it's not always the tool. Sometimes it's the cutter. Benchmade sharp too. I know, because it almost cut my finger off. But anyway, the Benchmade Mini Adamas and the Emerson Mini A100 are great knives. I love the way this knife carries. It's not a deep clip, but it carries very well. I could even see putting a small lanyard on this knife. This is what I would consider just a good old work knife. Simple, understated, elegant, get the job done, up for almost any task. I can take it apart with the Phillips head screwdriver and with a dime. So I really like the A100. I like its form factor. I like the G10 that they use. I love the 154 cm blade steel, and I'm just a big fan. Moving on, we come to number 10, 9, 8, number 7, which would be another Protech in our collection, and it is the Protech Malibu. The Mordax was in my top 10 because it was a newer knife, is in Magna Cut, it's a little bit bigger. If I were to compare these knives side by side, it would be hard for me to turn away from this 20 CV textured Malibu and choose the Protech Mordax. They're both fantastic knives. Something about the size of this knife might be a little bit more appealing to me. That's why I definitely wanted to bring it out in this video and share it with you guys. It has got amazing action. It has got an amazing blade profile. It is a little worker. It is a little cutter. Super slicey. Super nimble. Has a deep carry clip that works very well in the pocket. Goes in and out of pocket like a dream. Super detent. It's a flicker only, which is not normally my jam, but with this knife, it's so enjoyable to play with, to fidget with, and to deploy that I can look past that. And coming in at number 7 is our Protech Malibu, which brings us to number 6, I think, and that is an offering from Three Rivers Manufacturing. This is the TRM Neutron. This is the medium size in the TRM collection that you're going to see represented in this top 10. But this knife is an absolute joy. It's gone through so many different scale renditions, from G10 to Mexican blanket micarta to regular sage green micarta to finally the titanium scales that it settled on. This knife is a 20 CV blade, super slicey, super thin. I would call this a gentleman's folder extraordinaire. I've got one more that we're going to bring up that's equally as slicey, just a little bit larger. However, I love this knife. I love the form factor. I love the size. The TRM Neutron in 20 CV is an absolute winner, and it comes in on this list at number 6. Brings us to number 5, a fantastic survival knife, a fantastic use of the bar lock, a fantastic, what I would consider, evolution of a Benchmade Griptilian. This is the Ritter Hog RSK. Guys, this is Doug Design. I love this knife. Stonewash 20 CV is my version. No, I don't have the Magna Cut. Mine's in G10. It's got the bar lock, which I think is done so well by Hogue and by Doug Ritter. It's got that nice Stonewash 20 CV blade. It is a full handful of a knife. I also have this in a mini, the RSK 2 mini, but if I was going to look at the next 10 in my collection, it has to be the Ritter Hog RSK in 20 CV. Fantastic knife. I can recommend this knife to anyone. Probably the best value in a USA made knife at, I think, under $160. So take a look at the Ritter Hog. They're only available at KnifeWorks. They have an exclusive with them, but they're always in stock, and you can always grab one there. But that is my number 6, and I think that brings us to 5 left. So number 5, we have an offering from Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. I have several Spyderco Paramilitary 2s based on different blade shapes, but this is probably my favorite. I acquired this one in a trade from Justin, OCD for EDC. I love this knife because this was the Cutlery Shop exclusive. Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, made out of CTS XHP. It's got his collector club number on it. I added some rock scale designs, titanium scales to this, and a deep carry clip from Lynch. This knife is spectacular. It's definitely my favorite Spyderco Paramilitary 2. I'm a huge fan of Paramilitary 2s. I actually have 3 of them. Did not make the first list of my top 10, but it had to make this list. And any one of my Spyderco Paramilitary 2s, my S110V drop point or my Tanto S30V, could have made this list. But when it comes down to what makes me the happiest, which one that I cherish the most, not only from who it came from in a trade, but the fact that it's unique, is this CTS XHP cutlery shop exclusive that I traded with for OCD for EDC. That brings us to number 4, guys, and that is, no, not the Neutron again. This is the TRM Atom. This is the Neutron's big brother. I won't spend a lot of time on this knife, but this knife is a 3.5-inch blade version of the Neutron that I was just showing you. Has the exact same blade geometry, so it's very, very slicey. It's just a little bit longer. So if I was going to bring out the Neutron to show you a comparison, that's the difference in size. Which reminds me that I didn't cut with our Spyderco, but it's probably the sliciest of the bunch. And guys, let's run into number 3 and get this top 10 out of the way. So number 3 is the Medford, not Slim Midi, but the Midi Marauder. This is my Midi Marauder that is in S35VN. It is Tonto. It is very sharp. It is very overbuilt. I absolutely love this knife. It is a true favorite, and it's coming in at number 3, and that's the Medford Midi Marauder. Moving on, we have a full dress Hinderer Jurassic. The Hinderer Jurassic is the size right between the 3.5-inch Hinderer XM18 and the 3-inch XM18. This one does have a titanium show side scale. It's on skiff bearings. Fantastic knife, and it comes in at number 2, which brings us to number 1, guys. The final knife in the collection is my Spyderco Shaman. I could not leave this top 10 out without mentioning the Shaman. It's in purple carbon fiber scales. Absolutely love it. This knife is also in CTS XHP. Guys, thank you for stopping by and watching the video. Thank you, channel members. Please remember, look out for the guy or gal to the left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.